Hello, teachers, parents, and educational leaders, and welcome to this episode of Breaking Down the B.E.S.T. Now, during this episode, you will get a peek into the members-only area where I have tons of resources to help you make math fun, make it click, and make it stick. There should be a link somewhere around this video where you can learn more. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it, and let's break down the standard. Welcome to Breaking Down the B.E.S.T, a video series dedicated to breaking down Florida's B.E.S.T standards for math. So grab something to write with and maybe even a snack. This looks good. And don't forget to put a smile on your face. There you go. I see you. And let's dive into today's B.E.S.T standard. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is McCarthy, and I just want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Down the B.E.S.T, where today we are going to break down the following standard. We've got MA.3.AR.2.3. MA, that stands for math, 3 for third grade, AR for algebraic reasoning, and 2.3 is our standard code for today. This standard says to determine the unknown whole number in a multiplication or division equation, so there needs to be an equal sign, relating 3 whole numbers with unknowns in any position, in any position. Here, just keeping in mind that we can use any symbol or letter. And yeah, by the way, this document that I'm marking up all over is not something that I created. It's something that the Florida Department of Education creates and distributes to the public. They make it available to you. So you can definitely download your copy and mark it up like I do, but this is what I do. I'm kind of giving you an insight into how I break down the standards, figure out what is important in order to create resources that are strategically aligned to the B.E.S.T standards. Connecting benchmarks, horizontal alignment. We have MA.3.NSO.2.2 and 2.4, which of course is our multiplication and division standards. We also have 3.AR.1.2, which is 1-step and 2-step real-world problems. For terms, we need to know that equation, this would be an example of an equation. It has an equal sign and values on both sides. And the expression looks a little different. Look, 72 divided by 9. We're not referring to the equal sign here, just what we need to solve. In second grade, so talking about vertical alignment, where are they coming from? Well, in second grade, they had the same kind of standard, I should say similar, except it was with addition and subtraction. So instead of determining the unknown whole number in a multiplication or division equation, they were finding the unknown number in a subtraction or multiplication equation. And in fourth grade, they will have to multiply and divide real-world problems with unknowns, creating equations there. So the purpose of this benchmark is to find an unknown value represented by a symbol or a letter in a multiplication or division equation. And we've kind of done this a little bit when we were in 2 point, which I wonder why they didn't refer to that one. I would say that I think it's MA.3.AR.2.1. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. 2.1 is, so 3.AR.2.1 is where you're restating a division equation as a missing multiplication unknown factor problem. So that should definitely be connecting in there too. The focus here has a lot to do with fact families. The more that we can rely and point out the fact families, anytime that you're writing an equation, multiplication equation, I would suggest constantly say, okay, we have this equation, but now let's write it as the other multiplication equation using the commutative property of multiplication, and then the 2 division equations that go with that, showcasing that fact family because that helps students to build their fluency. And I wrote here, use this to connect because they're used to finding missing add-ins with addition and subtraction. So connect that to this multiplication and division standard. Common misconceptions. I put a little star here because I've been saying this in a few episodes now, that giving examples where the product or the quotient is on the left side, for instance, 27 equals 9 times t, or 12 equals t divided by 4. These are types of, by placing the quotient or the product on the left side, it does challenge the students, and we need to make sure that they understand what the whole purpose of an equation is, and that's to show balance. Both sides are balanced. I am not going to go through the strategies to support tiered instruction, but I would recommend looking at it and gathering some help on what you could do in addition, because I want to focus on more of how you are supported with taking on the B.E.S.T. But I would definitely take a look at this. Good stuff there. And here, notice, this is what I'm talking about, having the quotient on the left side. This type of problem right there. We might be saying, I said say it out loud and plug it in. Say it out loud meaning something like, what number divided by 12, what total divided by 12 equals 3? Okay, if it's 36, let's plug that in. 36 divided by 12 on this side equals 3, and 3 is on the left side, so that is a true equation. That makes sense. Same thing here. What number divided by 6 equals 5? And you could also rewrite that as a multiplication equation, right? And saying, okay, I think it's 30. Let's plug that in and see. 30 divided by 6, does that equal 5? Yes, that makes sense. I think that's good for going over the standard. Now let me show you what you have access to with your Taking on the B.E.S.T membership. So here we are at McCarthyMathAcademy.com. Click members, enter here. You might have to log in. Take on the B.E.S.T, Taking on the B.E.S.T. Which grade? 3rd grade. We are working on the strand AR for algebraic reasoning, so click that. Scrolling down to 2.3, determine the unknown in multiplication and division equations. Click on that, and here you go with your bronze resources. So the bronze resources have a video lesson and a printable student guide right there. And there are 2 video lessons for this one. So the first one is determine the unknown in a multiplication equation, and the second video is determine the unknown in a division equation. And you can see the video lesson printables right there. Number 2 and number 3, for instance, would confuse students, so I put those in there so we could practice it, having the quotients on the left as well. Same thing here with the multiplication. Here we go with a product on the left, product on the left, practicing that. Okay, so if you are kind of wondering how to think aloud with these types of problems, I encourage you to watch the video lessons to help you get ready, but these are intended for students to be able to use. So those are there for you if you have the bronze, and then if you have the silver or the gold membership, you have access to the silver resources too, and you can go back to those bronze resources anytime. For the silver, you have Math Misconception Mystery. This is the video that you can play, and I'll show you the problem in your printable section, but I just want to show you that how everything is just grouped for this standard. So you've got your video lesson icon, that means it's a video, just like what we saw in the bronze resources. And then some extra practice that does not have a video. It's for students to be able to practice on their own. Video lesson, extra practice, and here is the math mission. Math mission for this one says Alice is let me get it centered. Alice is struggling to decide whether the value of the unknown number in the equation is 3 or 12. Which number is correct? Explain your thinking on the lines below. Part 2. Use the equation in part 1 to list all of the related facts. In part 3, create a real-world problem to represent the situation in part 1. Make sure your problem includes a question to figure out the value of the unknown number n. So you can see here how this really takes up their thinking and challenges them after they've had time to practice the skills needed. Okay, oops. And finally, my favorite part. I love it all, but I love Math Misconception Mystery. So for Math Misconception Mystery, you just click play for the video, and I'll guide you through the whole process and tell you when to pause and let your students solve this problem. And then they're going to watch as 4 characters who are just me, dressed up in silly costumes, how those 4 characters solve this problem. 3 of them are going to make mistakes that students commonly make, and 1 of them will solve it correctly. So students really have to listen, pay attention, and discuss who is correct. Then they fill out this detective report with who is correct and why, and who is incorrect and why. And of course, you have the answer key for that right here. So you can see where we're trying to guide students with their discussions, but they're really, really awesome for math this course. It's incredible what students will come up with. And then for the gold plan, you have even more. You have the bronze, you have the silver, and you also have this mini assessment that aligns with the standard. So here we go. We have an N to represent the unknown. You can see the variety of having the quotients on the right and the quotients or products on the left. Got some matching item types, fill in the blank, a multi-select, and a written response right there. So with these minis, you might have mini assessments or assessments in general that your county provides you with. So just use these as extra practice, however you need to use it. You, of course, have the Breaking Down the B.E.S.T. this episode ad-free if you are a gold member, or you might be watching this on YouTube with ads. Just a little bonus perk for being a gold member. But really, the main reason for having the gold is to have access to McCarthy Math 155, which is the daily math intervention, which is aligned to the Common Core standards, different than the B.E.S.T. However, there are a lot of resources here to help you out. So we don't want 5th grade, hang on. So let's see what would apply with this. I think in division, well, of course, since these problems focus on multiplication and division, you can definitely find skill videos here to help your students be more prepared for that. But in division, there is a focus on missing factors and missing numbers. Let me just go down. It just looks a little different like this. Day 53, missing values, right? So having a blank there to figure out what's going on. So just more practice with the gold. You have even more videos. You have 155 videos for each grade level to use. Not everything aligns with the B.E.S.T standards, but there's a lot that does trickle over to support you, okay? All right. I think that's good then. Okay, so I hope that helps to make sense for what the standard is all about, and that you get to see what you have access to with all the resources in your membership. And before we go, let me remind you that what you choose to do with your life every day, it really does matter. Thank you so much for giving your best, for showcasing what your best looks like so that students can look to you to see what their best needs to look like too. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I know you're busy, so I'm gonna let you go, but I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so I know that I just said goodbye for now, but I'm gonna ask you to do one more thing, okay? If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with your teacher friends or other leaders in education. That's how I get to continue doing what I love to do, which of course is supporting you all to the best of my ability. All right, for real now. Bye.